In the next 30 minutes, you're going to learn exactly how to go from this to this. Let's get this tutorial started. So my client wants to get a 7 on top with a high taper and a lineup. So we're just starting off with a 7 guard, making sure we get every bit of hair, and we'll just come back later to clean everything up again. So we're just debulking, making sure we get every little hair going all directions. One piece of advice when doing buzz cuts is don't just slide the clipper in one motion. Try to go back and forth every now and then just to get those little hairs that are kind of picky. And so here we're going with a 4. I think this is a 4 open, and we're just going off the shape of the head and just making sure our shape is nice. So he likes the back of his head cut shorter and not a full 7, so I like to bring that 4 up a little higher. So here I'm just looking for his occipital bone and seeing where I could place that high taper, the bald line. So for point of reference, I usually do it around the ear line or so. What I'm really looking for is how much baldness I have at the bottom compared to the neckline, and that's where a lot of the contrast from the fade is going to be. So just punch that bald line in, look in the mirror and make sure it's straight, and then clean it up. And then here we're going with the open guard, or open lever, no guard, going up about a inch thick, maybe a finger's width thick or so. And then we got the 1.5 open, and we're gonna go right above that guideline and about the same width as well. When you are putting your guidelines in, make sure you make them as even as possible. This is just gonna make your fade come out a lot nicer. And whenever you're detailing, you kind of know exactly where each guard was so that you can work more on the shade of the hair instead of just with the length. So here, after I go open, I'll close it and go halfway up that section. I like to put my guidelines in pretty fast, so as long as they're nice and clean, then you're good to go. Because once you get your guidelines in, you get to start fading, and once you're done fading, you can start detailing, and also your haircut time goes down. Here we're going with a 3 open, and this should blend right into that 4 we just did when we were debulking the sides. And this is about the same size as our previous section. And then we're gonna close that about halfway up that section or so. And also, whenever I am using like the bigger guards, like let's say like the 3 or the 4, sometimes I'm not working just on sections itself, but I'm more of kind of shaping that into the transition zones from the sides into the top. So here we have the 1.5 open, and we're just blending that into the 3 we just had. And same thing, so I'm not super on the head exactly. I'm more of kind of shaping as I'm cutting and working with the shape that the hair creates as well. So here I got the half guard, go halfway, and we're gonna tap the line. So we're just gonna tap this line, and then right after that, we're gonna go open. Well, here I want closed, so I used the half guard and then brought that line up just a little bit. And if anything was still a little too dark right under that, I went with the close and just kind of made sure that blend was there. And after I'm done with that, here's the half guard open. And this is going to start going or blending into that 1.5 closed. And once we have our lengths established, then we can start detailing and playing with the lever and opening and closing little by little until every dark spot comes out. using the corners of the blade. That's pretty much what detailing is. Just playing with the lever, going at the dark spots, and just kind of making sure that blend is there. So now let's go with the shaver. Once we kind of like our fade that we have, we can go with the shaver. I'm going to bring it almost right up to our bald line. Not quite. Probably like maybe half an inch until that guideline. And then we'll start kind of feathering that shaver into that line. So now we're going to go with our no guard closed. And same thing that we did with the half guard. We're just going to tap that line, bring it up a bit. And once we push that line up, we're going to go halfway. And now, in theory, anything under that halfway mark should go away with whenever we close our lever just one more notch. And if not, that's when we can start detailing. And that's where shade over length comes in. But we want to make sure that we establish our length points first so that we know exactly which lengths we could start using for detailing. So now it's just pretty much of a game of kind of spreading out the baldness and how much contrast we want in the fade. So there's this thing they call the barber eye, and once you develop that, seeing like all these little dark spots in the fade will make detailing a lot easier. And that just comes with like cutting hair and just practicing pretty much. So here I didn't like how much baldness I have, so I'm bringing it up just a tad bit with the trimmer and just spreading that out just a little bit more so the contrast pops a little bit. So just whenever you are fading, just make sure you use your mirror. It just gives you another set of eyes that, say like you're looking at the fade, your eyes don't really tell the true story. So like using the mirror is gonna give you another, like let's say another set of eyes to make sure that your fade is looking blurry. So here, I like how that's looking. Dab Eric up, and let's start on the side taper. We're all friends here. Alright, so I like to put my high taper guideline, let's say points of reference at the top of the C cup and at the meeting of the ear. Is that right? Where the ear meets the head, let's say that. And then at the top of the C cup, and I like to just slightly round it off as well. We'll clean that up and we'll go right into our no guard open. So same thing as the back, we're gonna go up about an inch or about a finger's width length. I'm just following the shape of our guideline. And then we're gonna go with our 1.5 open. Right above that, same thing. Just keeping our guidelines consistent, even, and clean. I'm gonna go close on our 1.5, halfway up that section we just made. And once we're done with that, we're gonna go with the 3 guard open right above that, and we're gonna fade that into the 4 that we did on the sides. And here we're just gonna begin shaping what we want the buzz cut to look like. Especially on like straight Asian hair, the hair tends to stick out a lot, so you're really shaping because it doesn't lay down. Alright, so once we're done with our 3 guideline, we're gonna go back to our 1.5 open, and we're gonna fade that right into our 3. So just using our corners, just slightly flicking out dark spots, slightly flicking out that line. And then we'll go halfway and close it until that line is out. Dap up Jayco. And then here we'll go with our half guard halfway. We're going to tap the line. Tap the line, bring it up just a tad bit. And then we'll go ahead and open it and start fading that line out right into the 1.5 closed. And then we can start detailing using our corners of the blade to pick out any dark spots we see. We'll go closed right there, just detailing. So as you can see, I really like using the corner of the blade and just picking out dark spots that I see. So now we'll take our shaver just right before our bald line, and then we'll start flicking once we get close to our bald line, just so we don't leave a super harsh bald shaver line. And then we're gonna go with our no guard closed, and same thing we do with our half guard. We're gonna do that here. So we're gonna go up close, bring that line up just a tad bit, and then once we do that, we are going to go with our no guard halfway. And again, anything under our no guard with our lever halfway should come out whenever we close our notch one more time. And then if not, then that's when we can start detailing. We know our numbers on the fade where we have certain guards, so now we can start playing with our shade and not just our length. And again, using the corners to spread out that contrast, spread out the baldness, and just making sure that the fade looks blurry. So I think this is right here is a 3. And I'm just taking that around the lineup area. And also just fading that into the top as well. And then right here, I think I was looking at the mirror and I didn't like the way that right behind the ear, it was fading into that 3. So I'm just taking the half guard and just blending that in a little bit more. So now let's start on our left side of the fade. And you just do the same exact thing. Start at the top of the C cup, right to where the ear meets the head, and we're going to start our fading process. So let's see if you could follow along with the system without me explaining it. So while we do this left taper, I wanted to talk about what to focus on as a beginner barber. I think the most important part whenever you are starting your barbering career is building a solid foundation. And that's getting very good at cutting hair, learning everything you can, and just building that foundation so that whenever you do scale and you are getting into a barbershop or you're going to barber school and you're trying to build your clientele, all this, you have already a solid foundation that you can build on. So I think the first step in building a solid foundation is getting obsessed with getting good at cutting hair. And that's not just doing fades or learning this fade, that fade. That's everything that has to do with hair. You need to understand hair, you need to learn scissor work, you need to learn fading, head shapes, hair textures, all of that. I feel like just getting crazy good at cutting hair is what's gonna set you apart and separate you from every other barber out there. Because every barber knows how to cut hair. Or let's say every barber knows how to do a good fade or a decent fade, let's say, but not every barber knows how to section hair. Not every barber knows how to do scissor work, style hair, and all that good stuff. And doing that and learning that is going to separate you from every other single barber, which is going to make building your clientele way, way easier. I would say the next step in building your solid foundation is customer service. What does your service and your experience look like? You need to learn how to talk to people, how to build relationships, how to make somebody feel welcome. This is called building a word-of-mouth worthy service. That basically means, let's say you give a killer haircut, a fire haircut, a great service and experience. Without you even asking your client, Man, they're going to their friends, going to their family, and telling them about you because they just got the best haircut of their lives. If you couldn't post on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, YouTube, or if you couldn't even ask your clients to give you a referral, what would your service look like? What would your experience look like? That's the type of service and experience you want to give. Everyone could eventually cut hair or give a decent fade, but not everyone is going to build a solid list of clients where you're going to be able to scale your business to heights that you didn't even think was possible. The next step to building a solid foundation is learning about business. Barbering is not just cutting hair. You're running your own business. Now you got to learn about marketing, meta ads, Google ads, guerrilla marketing, boots on the ground, passing out flyers, passing out business cards, going up to people at, let's say, the store, the gym, different businesses, introducing yourself and offering them free haircuts or letting them know you're a barber in the area. All that stuff goes into barbering. Man, now you gotta learn about taxes, S-corps, 1099s, W-2s. Now, I know it sounds like a lot. I'm not gonna say it isn't because it is, but learning these things and building a solid foundation, learning how to cut hair freaking great, learning customer service, learning about business, marketing, all of these things, if you build a solid foundation, man, by the time you are finishing barber school or like you're getting into a shop, say you're even starting barber school, if you build a solid foundation now, man, this is going to put you ahead of, 50% of barbers who've been doing this 5 years, 10 years, that don't treat barbering like a 6-figure opportunity or like a real business, because it is a real business and it's not just a side hobby. It's not just a side hustle, a thing to do on the side. And if you lock in and you build that foundation and you actually lock in and work, man, barbering changed my life, man. That's all I gotta say. But anyways, just build that foundation, watch YouTube videos, buy courses if you need to, find a mentor, find multiple mentors. Just see someone who you want to look up to, who is doing what you want to do, and just follow them. And success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. But let's get right back into this taper and into this tutorial. Boy, that thing is looking blurry. I think we just finished this left side. We're gonna start on our lineup. So I always do my lineup. I have a system. I always do the right side behind the ear, left side behind the ear, and then we're gonna go on the right side of the lineup and the left side. So here we got our trimmers, and we're just tapping that line, keeping it as natural as possible while keeping it sharp. There goes Johnny. So when I'm doing behind the ear or doing the lineup behind the ear, I'm always using the corner of my blade. And right now I'm using the left side of the blade. And I'm always going to have a pivot finger on the head, so my hand is not just floating. I think I have my middle finger, let's say like on his, what is this called? Not his cheekbone, but like right in front of the ear, and just using that as like stabilization and as a pivot. Just you get that nice round shape around the ear. And then we're just gonna do the same thing on the left side, using our whole blade here. And then we're gonna transition to just using the corners as we get around the corner. So there, using the left side of the blade, right side, just using the corners and just whatever I can do to get in there. Just slowly pick at it. And that'll eventually give you that nice round shape as long as you hit it little by little. And give it that sharp lineup. And also, don't forget to dust your client off. So I think this is the 7. I'm just going back. It's either like the 7 or 6, maybe even a 5. I actually have no idea. And just kind of cleaning that up, making sure everything is even, and working on the shape of the hair, what it looks like from like the front of view, from the side view, and all that. Just making sure that there's no like hard drop-offs or hard transitions from the sides to the top. And we want a nice, like I say, round shape. Just going with the shape of the head. Just making sure everything's even as well. Okay, so I think what I was doing was using either like a 5 or a 6, and now I'm going with a 7 and just cleaning up the top, making sure I got everything from when I first started. So there, I think I was looking in the mirror and I saw a little line, so now I'm going with my no guard and just detailing that a little bit. So doing this, making sure that you get the fade done fast but as clean and efficient as possible, gives you enough time at the end to be able to detail without you running behind too much. Oh, that thing looks blurry. Here's just my half guard open. Always start open when you're detailing, and then you can just close little by little until any of your lines or dark spots come out. And yes, my half guard, it's broken. I'm getting a new one. Well, I'm not getting a new one, but I just got a new one. All right, let's do a lineup. So this is I believe it's a 3. So going with a 3 closed. And whenever I'm doing this, I'm going up the head. I'm not going into the head. So I'm just doing this to kind of clean up what I'm already going to cut from the lineup. So just kind of debulking that. I wouldn't say bangs. Maybe it is the bangs. I actually have no idea. But just cleaning up that lineup so that whenever I do hit it with a trimmer, it's going to give a nice crisp line without me going with a trimmer and trying to carve through all of that. And also just make sure you always blow dry your client off or dust them off. Make sure that there's no hair on their face or on the cape. Just makes it more comfortable for the client, which is good experience, good service. So here we're going to start on the left side of the lineup. Starting in the middle and just working towards the corner. So whenever I do lineups, okay, sorry. So whenever I do lineups, I'm usually the whole blade is on the head, but I might use the corner here and there. It just depends on like the head shape and what I'm trying to do with the lineup. Well, one thing I would say is you don't have to push so hard on the skin. Like you could be gentle. Pushing hard on the skin is going to just hurt the client. So just make sure that you're being gentle and just applying just enough pressure to be able to get that line on there. So here, doing the vertical bars. So I like to just push it just right up to the line and then pull it back. And then here, what I'm focusing on, or what I do focus on whenever I am doing the corners, is just using that very corner of the blade and just looking at that corner piece and seeing whichever hairs are like overhanging or what I need to cut to get like that sharp corner. And once I do that left side, then I move on to the right side, just starting in the middle and working towards the corner. So I'll just go over it again. And again, I have my pivot finger or my stabilization finger on the head. Making sure the middle of the lineup is clean and connecting what we did to the left side to the right side. Making sure we don't leave like a sharp avatar widow's peak. Then we'll just work that to the corner. And then here we can work on our vertical bars. Just going right up to that line and then pulling out. Just making that line as straight and as sharp as we can. And then using just that right corner of the blade and ever so slightly making that nice 90 degree, or just making that sharp corner. And there's always, especially for like straight hair, there's always going to be those little long hairs that are right on that corner that you just have to somehow try to get it. And just re-go over that lineup once again, and just make sure you get all the little baby hairs or all the little straggly hairs that are hanging over. And once we're done with that, then we get our razors. I like to use I think these are the Dorco Premiums. Comes in the blue case. Right into my Tomb 45 shaver. Been using this one ever since I started cutting hair. Always the red one. And then we're going to use the razor. You can pull the skin ever so slightly. And just clean all those little, they're not baby hairs, I would say all the little, I don't even know what they're called actually, but just making it super crispy. Making a clean straight line. But yeah, just make sure that you just don't push too hard with the razor, or you're just gonna go into that. You're just gonna go into like the line and then just mess up the whole thing. Let's do the other side, right into the corner. Just cleaning up all those little, man, I don't even know what the word is. The little black hairs. Doesn't always have to be black, but like those little tiny hairs that don't come out unless you're using like the shaver or whatever. Just do the vertical bar right here, making it as clean, straight, and sharp as possible. We got a little ash line going on. And just cleaning everything up, making the lineup sharp. But yeah, that will do it. That's the whole tutorial. High taper, lineup, 7 on top, buzz cut. Hit it with the aftershave. And that's the haircut. Thanks for watching. So if you found this tutorial helpful, like the video, subscribe. And if you want to see any other haircuts, just comment down below what you want to see. And alright, nice. Also, Johnny said I have to come out with like a outro, or no, a catchphrase. So change lives. No, nothing changes if nothing changes.